From founding his own theater company straight out of Chicago, to having the elusive it factor, these are secrets fans never knew about Nick Offerman. After earning a BFA from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in 1993, Nick and a group of fellow students founded the Chicago theater company Defiant Theater. Talk about starting off with a bang! Nick's talent and hard work quickly earned him a spot in the Chicago theater scene, where he rubbed shoulders with those working in other legendary theaters like the Steppenwolf, Goodman, and Wisdom Bridge theaters. Nick even worked as a fight choreographer and master carpenter at Steppenwolf, and during this time he crossed paths with the one and only Amy Poehler, who was heavily involved with the Chicago improv comedy scene, and let's just say, sparks flew. But it wasn't until he landed the role of Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation that Offerman truly became a household name. Ron Swanson quickly became a fan favorite, thanks to Nick's deadpan delivery and incredible comedic timing. Slate magazine even called Nick Parks and Recreation's secret weapon, and we couldn't agree more. His role as the government-hating, bacon-loving head of a city parks department allowed him to showcase his range as an actor, seamlessly blending antagonism and political philosophy with a dash of humanity. And let's be real, who wouldn't want Ron Swanson as their boss? But Nick's talents don't stop there. He's been featured in the Adult Swim series Children's Hospital and is the voice of Axe Cop in the animated series of the same name. He's appeared in a variety of films, from playing Schlub in 2005's Sin City to taking on the role of Frank in 2013's The Kings of Summer. Nick even starred in and produced the independent film 2012's Somebody Up There Likes Me, where he plays the character of Sal. Oh, and did you know that he's a punk rock god starring in Fiddler's music video for their song Cocaine? Yeah, he's just that cool. In 2023, Nick appeared in the HBO series The Last of Us as Bill, and it's been taking the world by storm. Even though he doesn't have much experience with video games or the genre, Nick's performance as Bill has quickly become one of his most celebrated. Bill falls in love with another survivor on the show named Frank, played by Murray Bartlett, and their love story's one for the ages. It's rare to see an LGBTQ+ romance, particularly between two middle-aged men depicted on television, and it's refreshing to see that the entertainment world is progressing, moving the clocks forward instead of backward. But Nick and Murray's performances shined, and many are calling for them to be nominated for the Emmys next year. I second that notion. Nick's role as Bill is unlike anything he's ever done in his career, and it's quickly become one of his best performances, with people seeing him in a whole new light. So, if you haven't checked out The Last of Us yet, make sure you do. You won't be disappointed. Now, let's talk about Offerman's other talents besides acting. Did you know that he's also a skilled woodworker? True story. Offerman's a professional boat builder, runs a wood shop, and creates beautiful canoes, boats, and even furniture. In fact, he's so talented that he's even released an instructional DVD titled Fine Wood Strip Canoe Building with Nick Offerman, where he shares his woodworking knowledge and techniques. And let's not forget that he's also a contributing author and writer for Fine Woodworking magazine. But that's not all. Offerman's also a published author. He's released 4 semi-autobiographical publications, including Paddle Your Own Canoe, One Man's Fundamentals for Delicious Living, Gumption, Relighting the Torch of Freedom with America's Gutsiest Troublemakers, Good Clean Fun, Misadventures in Sawdust at Offerman Woodshop, and Where the Deer and the Antelope Play, The Pastoral Observations of One Ignorant American Who Loves to Walk Outside. He's even narrated all 4 as audiobooks. In addition to woodworking and writing, Offerman's also an accomplished comedian. He's gone on multiple comedy tours, including the Full Bush Tour and the All Rise Tour. He's also appeared in various plays, such as the off-Broadway one-act play Annapurna, where he starred alongside his wife Megan Mullally, and a theatrical adaptation of A Confederacy of Dunces with the Huntington Theater Company. It seems that Nick's full of surprises. It's like I told you in the beginning, these are secrets about Nick you never knew about. Not only is he a talented actor, woodworker, writer, and comedian, but he also has a secret passion for ballet dancing. Who would have thought that the rugged Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation was once upon a time a graceful ballet dancer pirouetting across the stage? In a candid interview, Offerman jokingly revealed his ballet skills, but it turns out that he wasn't joking at all. He took up ballet classes for 2 semesters while at university, not because of any particular interest in dance, but to meet female students and hopefully land a date. Smooth Nick, silky smooth. Note to self, Google local ballet schools when this video wraps. However, Nick quickly found that he enjoyed the challenge and discipline of ballet, and it became a respected part of his theater experience. Although we haven't seen Offerman's ballet skills on display recently, he claims that he's still got it and prefers the 3rd position. Hilarious! Hey, I don't care what anybody says, it takes a man with an abnormal amount of superhero-like confidence to slap on a pair of tights. It's yet another example of the many talents and surprises that this artist has to offer. Who knows, maybe we'll see him dance in a future project. And if you thought Nick's professional life was interesting, wait until you get a load of his personal life. Nick's personal life is just as interesting and diverse as his professional one. In 2003, Nick tied the knot with Will and Grace star Megan Mullally, and the pair have been an inseparable power couple ever since. Nick's appeared on Megan's talk show, The Megan Mullally Show, showing the world that they're a match made in Hollywood heaven, something we rarely see. Around this time, Nick started appearing on TV, including a memorable stint as a plumber on Will and Grace, and a recurring role as Randy McGee on George Lopez. But there's more to Nick than just his work and love life. He and Megan's live comedy tour and podcast, In Bed with Nick and Megan, gives fans a glimpse into their personal lives, which they discuss with various guests. Their 2016 comedy tour was particularly controversial, with the theme being their sex life, which was something not many celebrities were comfortable discussing openly at the time. While Nick's character on Parks and Recreation is a libertarian, he's not a follower of that political ideology in real life. He thinks the libertarian mindset is admirable, but not effective when it comes to actual governance. When it comes to politics, Nick's a free-thinking American who's not afraid to speak his mind. He described former President Donald Trump as racist and sexist during the 2016 U.S. presidential election for mocking his opponent Hillary Clinton for her private email controversy. In 2020, Nick tweeted a photo of himself with an "I voted" sticker and added the caption, #VoteWarren, referring to Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren. He also tweeted his support for Democratic candidate Charles Booker in the U.S. Senate Democratic primary in Kentucky. Nick's political views are only another example of how he's not afraid to stand up for what he believes in. While many celebrities tend to shy away from the subject for fear of alienating or dividing their fan base, there's no denying that Nick's bright mind, talent, and character have contributed to his success. But someone else deserves a little credit as well. Producer Michael Schur. It's no secret that Michael has a knack for creating some of the most beloved comedies in TV history. From the witty and dry humor of The Office to the absurdity and the heart of Parks and Recreation, Michael's brought some of the most iconic characters to life. And one of those characters is none other than Ron Swanson. Interestingly enough, Nick's journey to becoming Ron wasn't a straight shot. He originally auditioned for a role on The Office as Rashida Jones's love interest, Josh, and even though he didn't get the part, Michael saw something in Nick that he just couldn't shake off. That something is what the entertainment industry calls the it factor, a special quality that attracts others to someone's incredible talents or unique nature. Michael wrote Nick's name on a post-it note, stuck it to his computer, and kept him in mind. When Parks and Rec came along, Michael knew Nick was a shoo-in for Ron. In fact, did you know the team thought Nick was so interesting that they wrote in many of his real-life personality traits and hobbies, such as woodworking, into the character? It's this kind of attention to detail and creativity that made Parks and Recreation such a beloved show, and Nick's portrayal of Ron will undoubtedly go down in TV history as one of the most memorable characters of all time. So there you have it. Ladies and gents, from having the elusive it factor to founding his own theater company straight out of Chicago, those were secrets fans never knew about Nick Offerman.